Last one. Have you ever seen a song get flagged or pulled from Spotify because a campaign did too well?
No, I mean we've had some labels like spend 20 grand, 30 grand promoting a song
Okay.
with ads, and then also do playlisting on top of it, and get 12 million streams in 4 months or so,
Wow.
and no red flags because it's all real people, right?
Mm.
Um, I have seen people get in trouble who are not marketing because there's like this big playlist scam that's been going around for a year now.
Mm.
So if anyone from Spotify is watching this, fix it.
Fix it, please.
Because like these companies will add 2,000 artists to these playlists. Like there's like dozens of these companies doing it. They have hundreds of playlists each. They'll add 2,000 random artists to these playlists, and they'll just send a flurry of bot traffic to all the artists on the playlist. And the next day swap out 2,000 more artists. And
Wow.
with Spotify's new thing, where if you get like 90% bots, they pull the song. If an artist is not doing any promotion and they're just throwing their songs online, essentially 100% of their stuff is fake now, and then the distributor will pull it and then fine them,
Wow.
which is it's just ludicrous, because there's no recourse for the artist to say like, hey, I didn't initiate this.
Right.
This company added my music to this playlist against my will, and they, what happens if you don't like some artist?
Right. Right.
Like you have beef with this guy, and it's like, okay, let me just send 1 million bots to his Spotify, and his just profile gets taken down.
Wow.
And it's just kind of a joke right now. Like there's literally nothing you can do.
That sucks.
So, but in terms of people promoting, I've never seen anyone like we've seen songs that after promoting them and they get taken off in they're pushing in the algorithm. They're getting like 50, 60, 70,000 streams a day, and mostly from algorithmic sources. And
Right.
it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like and obviously, with the whole, bot conversation, I mean, that's a whole other podcast right there. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's very, I think it's just at this point in time, it's just, at least for me, I guess we're kind of in the numbers, we kind of see it. It's kind of plain to see when there's some shenanigans going around. I think you can, just kind of tell right off the bat, especially with some artists. Definitely not the greatest look ever to be doing things like that, but.
Yeah.
I think people just get sold something that they think is going to be their ticket to, get these streams and get things going, and it's just not the case. I think people need to
I've fallen
understand.
for it before too.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just hiring every company I could find online that said they could help, and one of them, for like $500, we'll get you 500 followers and 5,000 streams.
Okay.
And then what happened was I woke up the next day and I had 5,000 streams, 500 followers overnight.
Wow.
I was like, okay, this is so obviously fake. I contacted the company. They're like, oh no, we have like a really curated email list broken up by genre. I'm just like, no, you don't.
Yeah, you definitely
You're
don't.
full of. Can I swear?
Of course you can.
You're full of.
Yeah.
So,
That's the funny part too. Is I love that you say that, because it's like you have this answer for this this situation that clearly is total bullshit, and it's like, hey man, this doesn't just happen overnight. And I think that's really and that's the other thing about, consistency, the hard work. It's like, I think people just get this idea that they could just buy their way to the top. And I'm sure in some situations that, is a thing, but it's just not though. As far as music, you have to put in the work, you have to create the content, you have to get better at creating the content, you have to get consistent with creating the content, you have to, it's just so much stuff that goes into, promoting your music. And so I just, and what bothers me sometimes, I guess, I like to call them the Captain Cappers, where they just cap talk, another word, because Spotify, it's like, oh, I got, this, it's like, all right, man, but how the hell do you have 200K on all these songs, but your YouTube has like 200 listens on a video?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding how this works.
There's one guy I met who he described it as juicing.
Yes.
When he would use bots. And he'd been doing this for a couple of years before. He started working with me because he wanted to start doing stuff legit. He was still kind of using the bots a little bit. And what he would do is he would buy bots in his video and then buy comments and buy likes.
Oh man.
And then he
The
would
whole thing, the whole
he would buy
package.
followers, but then
Yeah.
every time he posted a video on Instagram, he'd be buying views in every video and buying likes, buying comments.
All the stuff, yeah.
And then he started blending ads where he would like run YouTube ads, but then the comments weren't good, so he would buy comments on this video that had real views from ads. And it took a little bit of convincing for me to tell him that like no, you shouldn't do this. Like he thought he was making himself look good, which is going to help people be more likely to follow him or help algorithmically. It took a little bit of convincing him for him to not do it anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
He thought it was the right thing to do. He's like, oh, like I'm a rapper. I need to look big. I need to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
And
talking
it doesn't translate ever. And I think it comes down to even like the live shows. When you get down to the live shows and like, you know, in-person situations, it's like you can't fake the funk at that level. I mean, it's like, and you know, you hear these like conspiracies of like, I've heard a thing about Russ where he's like conspiracied out or whatever, you know, he's like this whole thing. And it's like, I mean, you know, that may be a situation, but I don't think you can like fake, you know, 20,000 fans in Brazil screaming word for word your song. I'm not too sure if you can get that kind of thing on board together. And if you do, you've done some next level type scammery that I've
If you do
never...
at that point, you deserve it.
That, exactly. Exactly. It's like, at that point, it's like, you deserve it, dude.
Yeah.
You've scammed to the highest level that I've ever seen in my life, that you deserve this with all your heart, man. Oh, my goodness.